Hello, good evening. I think people are joining, so let's start. It is 7 o'clock already. Sorry, I don't know what is happening. Okay. Thanks for joining. So this is UX Talk Season 3. Today is talk number 4 in Season 3. So today I'm going to discuss on one very interesting topic which I like, which is usability metrics in a UX process. As a UX mentor, UX practitioner, I always explore a lot of domains and field, and I thought every UX practitioner should know about usability. So in same as regards to same, so today I decide let's discuss on one part of a usability, that is usability metrics. Uh, totally, usability itself is a huge domain. It is very separate. Just please mute. Okay, thank you. Altogether, it is a very separate domain. You can learn a lot of things in usability. But I'm today covering very specific topics so that people who want to learn usability, they will generate interest in this subject, and maybe they will understand what is the importance of usability and why you need this. So that is the agenda for today. So yes, my name is Tushar Deshmukh. I am founder and CEO of UXExpert is my company where we do design development in a user experience needs. Um, Recently, I started on my another company, which is a mentoring. I do mentoring and everything. So that is I do under UXUIHiring Lab. So totality, I have started my career long back in 2000, earlier than 2000. So far now, 20 plus years, I'm in the design field. Here and there, I work with animations and those things. So UX Talk is a platform which has started once the COVID was there and everybody is in a little bit depressed mood and everything. So I thought let's have some kind of a platform where we can share knowledge. And I'm lucky, or I say I'm happy that so far very good speakers they have come on UX Talk. They share their knowledge, experiences. That I hope that give a more interest in a very aspiring the students which are there learning. They go for a UX career. So UX Talk is a I can say global platform because many international speakers are also there. So now currently we are at season 3. There are very interesting speakers are lined up. Very beautiful topics are planned. So stay tuned. If you want to check out our old UX Talk, please go to the visit UXTalk.in website, or we have a YouTube channel there. So a little bit about myself because today I am only the speaker. So uh, I should take a little bit liberty that I should talk myself because every other talks I introduce other speakers. So last 8 years, I managed to create this, I can say, kind of an ecosystem. So I have two companies, which is UX Expert and Training, and under each company, this umbrella, I try to work with user experience to mentor or to support people for jobs and everything. So we have one research company which is dedicated to only user research, and UXTools is actually it's not launched officially. Last March, I was planning to launch this UXTools, but unfortunately because of COVID, suddenly everything was locked down, so it was not actually officially launched. UXTool is a very ambitious project which I am working because last 22 years I have faced a lot of issues while dealing with customers in respect to UX, and many times I've thought, okay, something, if I had that tool, my work will be more manageable or more sophisticated. So on that idea, I have built few tools which every UX practitioner can use in their any kind of a project. It is not only for web or mobile. You are working with a human-centric design, then you can use these tools. Hopefully, I'm waiting to things sort out this COVID and pandemic things, and maybe soon I launch these UX tools, and some tools are very free to all, some tools are paid tools, but free tools are for anyone they want to practice their UX in their office or freelancer, whatever they are doing. They can use these tools to build any kind of a project with respect to UX. Hopefully, soon we launch. In training, I have a two sub sister companies which we support for as a hiring and jobs. So there is always a requirement in the UX field. Companies suffer from getting correct resources. Resources are getting problems, struggle to get correct companies. So I thought we should have some platform where design related, UX related, or no, we can have a recruitment support. So this is also this January I relaunched this thing. Hopefully that will also bring some kind of a I can say the eco. We have a UX community, right? So that will help those. Few things still there. Hopefully, couple of year I launch more services regards to UX. Finger crossed. Let's see. So apart from this UX expert company and training, uh, I do a lot of other activities. So I just quickly, I have created one this slide. So I'm a UX advisor for some companies who are working with machine learning. Interestingly, I work with one sports related industry. Sportsy is a platform for bringing sports, I will say, technology and everything. So, so I hope UX will contribute somewhere and we can bring some solutions for sports industry. Apart from, I am associated with some colleges, education fields. I am a panelist for some universities like National Institute of Technology in Telangana. So there is a typeathon this last year happened. So I was a panelist in Kalinga University. We do conduct some sessions and everything. I try to attach or connect with the young mind because that gives me it gives me some mind fresh activities because I always like to interact with young people. They bring a lot of new ideas on a table, and it is very healthy discussions we do. I'm also mentor for international platforms. So, and also I'm a consultant for some companies based in Pune, Mumbai, and Bangalore. So yes, this is all about me. So, so very few times it happened that I introduced myself. Okay, so so I thought today I am the speaker, so let's take this chance to tell myself about everyone. So this is all last, I can say 20 years, what I am doing. It is to design, UX. Hopefully, I can bring more things to the community and uh, we can do a lot of activities together. Let's see. Okay, so I not waste much time on me because it's not about today. It is about the topic which we are want to discuss. Yes. So, what is usability? So, there are many answers for this. Basically, uh, I know every UX practitioner or designer, somewhere in a point of their career, uh, they come across this term. Okay, because designing is without usability, design is not, cannot be complete. So you design anything, hardware, software, product, architect, anything. Okay, so when I say design, it is a very broad term. I'm expecting, please don't restrict UX knowledge to only web and mobile. Is everywhere. It is on hardware, it is on gadgets everywhere. You need this knowledge. Okay. So again, I'm not talking about. I will not try to don't go in a UX part more because sometimes I carried away on UX. But today I'm try to restrict on usability. So okay. Okay, so usability basically it is a quality attribute. See, personally, when I was a design head or when I was a team leader, I never complained about, or I never say, I never judge anyone's design because I'm not in position, I'm not that much creative to judge someone. Okay, because I want to give respect to every designer. Uh, and I seriously I feel that there is no good design or bad design. Okay, there is no correct, right or wrong in a design because every design is good design unless no, you have to test it. Okay, so I will my humble request to all team leaders or managers, don't discourage any designer because once you start doing this, your juniors will start, they start thinking that, oh, there is something lesser in me, and they will start giving you not a good quality output. So please, similarly on usability also, usability is also not correct or wrong. It is like a quality attribute because once you use any product, you have to see how ease of use is there. So whenever someone use any product, though I'm using word software, everything, but usability study again is for every sector, every domain. So whenever any particular user use your product, you have to see what are the positive outcomes and what is the negative outcomes. Okay, so don't go into that your design is wrong or design is correct. Okay, because my understanding is different, your understanding is a different. Okay, my point of view is a different, your point of view is a different. Because I may think that, oh, drag and drop is very usable for me. But somewhere there is one senior citizen with a 70 plus who will say, no, drag and drop is not good for me. Okay, so you have to study first user experience and then see whatever you create, please check with what are the, so without testing, how you can say your design is good or bad. Okay, so on same lines, usability also is a very quality attribute. Okay, it refers to the interaction between the parameters which you take. You have to count for errors and in what time your task user is completing. So regards to that, you have to find out the what is the positive outcome or negative things. So there are 5 attributes, or I can say components, you have to look for any product when you go for usability analysis or study. First, that is learnability. Okay, whenever you present any design in front of your user, how quickly user is learn those things. Reason is very simple, that you want your user revisit your product. Okay, then suppose I'm visiting second time and I'm not learned earlier visit, so I will again go in a confusion state. So try to make learnability very fast so that for next use, second visit, third visit, fourth visit, when they use routine your product, they use that experience so that in next visit, they will recognize the thing, they should not recall the things. Because once there is a recall, there is a cognitive load, and once cognitive load happens, then our user, human being basically, will start doing mistakes. And you don't want that. So make, whenever you design something, focus on how you can create a learnability. Okay, maybe for that you can use some tricks like how it works, tool tips, messages, some kind of illustration, help user to believe what they can learn so that they can remember the things and next time they can deliver the thing. Efficiency, memorability, it is related to learnability. Once you have a good learning, then user can memorability, and both indirectly then affect on the efficiency, because everyone want product to be used efficiently, and indirectly efficiency is linked to productivity, because every product owner, stakeholder want revenue out of that product. If my user is stuck at somewhere and they are not happy with my experience, then obviously the direct impact on revenue generation. So efficiency, you have to check, and how you can achieve efficiency, learnability, and create memorability, so that cognitive load and learning should quickly, there should not be recall, there is a recognition, and user quickly complete their task. But while doing this, you have to also observe what errors they are doing. I do understand at a first level, you cannot analyze every mistakes, error user are doing. I think that's why we do alpha testing, beta testing, right? So watch out for these errors. Find out what users are doing mistakes. Okay. If you know that, okay, my user is doing these errors, then try to improve. Okay. How easily they can recover from those errors. And once you do a learnability, efficiency, memorability, and you check for those errors, ultimately then user, so there is a mental stage, that is we get a satisfaction. And once user is satisfied, they are happy with your product. And that was, I think, everybody. And study of everything, okay, it is a usability study. Okay, so that is what, if you want to define usability, you have to check for these 5 components in your study. So basically, what I am just repeating in this diagram, so there is a functionality, efficiency, effectiveness, satisfaction. Sometimes you targeted users are there. For example, I am creating some solution for, say, diabetic patients. Then I have a specific user in front of me. They have a specific need. They have a specific goal, and there is a context which is going on. Then my focus should be address their problem. Suppose you are working in a finance domain, right? Then there is a specific user you are targeting. So this is all about usability. And there is something, it's CI, that is human computer interaction. Indirectly, UX study. That's why I said earlier, every UX practitioner should know about, or I will say, they should have a point of view to evaluate their own product through usability. So then you will see your results on a better product, better solution. Then whatever you study in a user research, you are implementing and you are testing. So there is a link between usability study and UX study. So I thought that's why I take this topic today. So that is okay. Now there is one person called Izon Kedi, is who suggested few models. So I'm going to talk about these models in future next some slides. So this guy has come up with the usability concept and the model of usability study basically. Okay, there is one more guy who's also contributed a lot of things. That name you everybody know, that is Jacob Nelson. Okay, so if you go to the Nelson's website platform, you will see a lot of good information about how to do usability metrics and everything. The Nelson has put very beautifully on the platform. But I referred Izon. I also respect Nelson, so many times I do refer Nelson also. But anyways, many times both have overlaps in their study. So it is end of the day, it is your call, okay, which concept you want to apply in your study. So to understand fully the concept behind the term usability, we need to realize the usability is not determined just one or two constituents, but influenced by a number of factors. So there are multiple factors involved in a one study, usability study. Okay, so quickly just we'll check what is this is on model is there. So what is this guy is saying? Basically, there are every system, every product, when you define, this is divided into 3 major characteristics. One is a user. Now, when you say user, that is a human which is using. So obviously then knowledge, discretion, motivations, everything will come. Many times I'm not a knowledgeable for the system. Just take an example. I'm not a finance guy. Okay, I don't know what are the numbers and everything. And you suddenly, if you put me in front of one dashboard which has a lot of numbers, stock, insurance, then for me, that is not a cup of my tea, right? This screen is like killing me because I'm very much lacking that knowledge. Okay. But same screen, maybe the guy who's worked with the finance numbers, stock exchange, insurance, they will find, oh, what a beautiful screen it is. So knowledge will play a very different role for user acceptance. Discretion. Suppose I have decided, no, I don't want to use Tally. Then what you will do? Okay. I don't want to use any particular technology. Then what you will do? Okay. You cannot force me as a user. So there is a discretion. Motivation. Suppose I am highly motivated, then I will take extra effort and I will complete the task. If I'm not motivated, how I will do any task? Okay. Suppose I'm working somewhere and my boss says, oh, you have to use this software for timesheet management. I'm not motivated. Why should I use this software, right? But yes, why I'm using this? Because my boss has said. So there is no motivation, but still I'm using that software. Okay. So these are three characteristics when you have to study the user. Then obviously system, which is the hardware, gadgets, everything. So whichever the task match you have to do. Suppose I'm clicking one button and happening something different, should not be happened. Ease of use, ease of learning should be there. So technology, everything which comes under system functions. Task characteristics itself, the task which user is performed. So there are two things we have to look. One is frequency. How many times that task is occurring? If my user is doing same task 10 times in a day, they are coming using same screen, then I can take some liberty. I can understand, oh, they are doing daily or they are doing very frequently. So they will remember things very easily. Okay. So I can create some complex thing, but I know my, like ticket booking systems or, in now COVID times, or like cab booking or applications, we hardly use. In first lockdown, there is all restriction. I don't think you use Ola, Uber, or Book My Show or Red Bus. You never, I think minimum 7 or 8 months, I think you're not open that application. Okay. Now there is a huge gap in the visit, first visit and second visit. Then how you think that your user will remember everything? Okay. So there are many applications, many softwares, many gadgets we use non-frequently. Okay. Some software, some gadgets we use frequently. So while you do user research, please try to identify this, no, how much user is frequently doing task. If I'm doing daily, then you can consider this, oh, this guy may remember because he has completed same task few hours ago. How he will forget? Then you can come up with some complex, I understand. But there is a huge gap. Don't test user's memory. Okay. You cannot take for guaranteed user. So do something extra there, so that will help user to remember the few things. Openness is something like allow user to not tailor-made actions, like allow user to create some shortcuts, allow user, you can use direct manipulations, so that some kind of a technology you can introduce AR, machine learning, so that user will get a freedom that, oh, I'm doing this. Okay, there is no one is watching me. I come here and whatever I want to do, no, I have that freedom with me. Try to create some functionalities, feature. So give that freedom to the user. Okay. So once you address these characteristics, user, system, and task, then this we call as an independent way, because they are totally three different aspects. User studies are different, technology studies are different, and user functionality studies are different. And when they combine together, what you get? You get a satisfied or dissatisfied, irritated or happy user. Then user get reactions. That is a usability study. Even out of these three, One, if you lack or there is some mistake at one characteristic, that will react the user reactions. Maybe they are not happy with one part, they are not happy with another. So your role to check this balance between user, system and the task. And then the result is what? You will get either positive motivated user or sad user, frustrated user. And I think you don't want that. And to identify this, you need a user metrics. Okay. So again, I'm not going into deep in actual usability because that is again a special time we required. But how to find out these problems? For that, you need a usability metrics. So that was actually today's topic, but I thought directly jumping on user metrics, I should give a little bit heads up about usability. That's why I just 5-10 minutes I talk about on what is usability and what usability, what you study. Okay. Now, first of all, what is usability metrics? Why you need this? Okay. So it is a measurement of three things: effectiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction. Okay, how you can do this? First, track the progress between releases. By when you launch your any product, hardware, gadgets, track the progress. Okay, so that you can judge, what is happening with your user, what is happening with your product. Assess your competitive positions. Okay, because this is also important because there is something called mental models. Okay, and every user is a user of some other system. Suppose I am building the e-commerce system and I thought that, oh, my users never use Amazon or Flipkart or anything, and then I'm full. Okay, when they come on my e-commerce, what will happen? They will carry their own mental models with their existing mental models, maybe of a Flipkart, maybe of a Myntra, or maybe Amazon, and they will bring that mental models on my system, and then comparison will start. So that's why you should know what is happening in the industry. Whatever which is the domain you are working, please do some competitive analysis. What is your competitor is doing? So that will put you in better position. Okay. Obviously, you cannot copy things up. You can. I'm not saying you copy from competitor, but at least that will help you to understand user psychology, what they are coming from. Okay, from where they are. Make a stop and go decisions before launch. Okay, so don't rush on things. Okay, do alpha, release, do beta. Maybe if you want, do some more major usability analysis methods. So judge your output and then come on a for launch, because some small mistake can big impact on your brand reputations. Okay, so don't do this. So don't rush on any launch. Take your time, obviously, and take your time. It is not a relative thing. So you can take, like, obviously, keeping your all budgets and everything, keep in mind, make a plan of usability testing, how you can judge, and then go for a launch. Create bonus plans to design managers and higher level execute. For example, you can determine bonus amount of development project leader, because you have to motivate your team. Okay, because I know when you talk about something, this first person who will say, oh, who is the manager? Okay, already we are doing UX, why you are asking a more time on usability, right? No, we want launch, there is a deadline. Okay, but motivate your team so that you can bring a lot of things. Okay, it is like something is better. Okay, you launch something and then it is bounce back, people are starting with negative feedback, and nowadays there's a social network. One thing is like a wildfire spread, and that will hamper more on your product or a brand. So it is better test it, motivate your team, and do this. And this is entirely plan is given by Jacob Nelson. Okay, so Jacob Nelson is usability analyst. Okay, now let's talk about, sorry, how to measure this. Okay, how to plan or how to analyze, how to start this. So let's see. So it is not a rocket science. It is very simple. Sometimes what you need is a simple common sense. Uh, it is so easy to, easy to specify usability metrics, but it sounds easy. That's why many times we take for granted few things. So it is very hard to execute those things. Okay. Typically, usability is measured relatively to user performance. To you give a task to the user, you measure it, you observe it, and you can make an analysis. So you need a focus group for this. Maybe your alpha users, beta users, or you can have your own set of users. Uh, you require this focus group or these activities for to analyze user metrics. So what you go there and what you analyze the success rate, time to complete that task. You try to identify the what errors and what is the frequency of those errors, and ultimately last you have to identify the satisfaction level, how much they are satisfied. Okay, so it is very interesting activities we do in a UX expert. Basically, it is like a group activities, very interactive activities. We involved our stakeholders, users, and we do these activities. So very interesting. So why should we do this all effort and everything, create a focus group or ask your user to create a focus group or give us a user, whatever. Okay. Why should you do this? Okay. Let's check this one small quick video. It is like a video. It is like, you created one product and how user use this. Okay. So you expect something that, okay, user will use this product this way, but actually user does something different. Okay, so to demonstrate this, I found this very interesting, funny video. Just quickly, we go through this video.
This is a square. Can you guess which spot that goes in?
The square.
That's right. It goes in the square hole.
Yes. Okay.
And how about this rectangle? That one
Also the square.
goes in there too.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got this thin rectangle.
The thin
You guess
rectangle.
where that goes?
The thin rectangle.
That's right. It goes in the square hole. And up next, a cylinder.
The circle.
I think that goes in
The circle.
the square hole. Now, we've also got the semicircle right here. Do you see a slot that would fit
The semicircle.
semicircle?
The semicircle.
That's right. It's the square hole. Okay. Up next, the triangle. We know what hole that goes
The
in,
triangle.
right?
Triangle.
That's right. The square hole. And up next, we have the arch.
The arch. The
You
arch.
guessed it.
The arch.
It goes in the square hole.
Okay, so it is very funny, right? But see, this is how our user react on your product. Okay, so as a designer, as a product engineer or developer, you expect something. You create something with some intentions. Okay, so user will do this 1, 2, 3 steps, but user come and do something different. Okay, and oh, there is error. Sometimes it comes the situation user is not satisfied. Okay, that's why you have to analyze, you study, evaluations, usability evaluations are required. Okay, either you give so instead of when your product come market and you saw, oh, user is doing something different, it's not intended. Okay, they are doing something different. So usability goes hand in hand the utility also. Okay, so I hope that was the you got some point importance there. Okay, so usability is underpin everything of on an application. If the application has poor usability, user will not able to interact with the properly. Okay, so measuring usability helps designers pinpoint what isn't working. Okay, example can be unengaging, poorly written, unattractive, or there are some error situations are coming. Lot of things are happen with your product. Okay, so usability study measurement, when you do measure usability, you get this opportunity to improve your product. Okay, so that's why you need this focus group, you need this usability testing or measurement every time frequently on your product. Okay, otherwise you will your intention, I always say, okay, you are at good intention, you want to create a product, but your user is not using that correctly. Okay, so sometimes, there is one old tale story is there about blind and elephants. Okay, so the blind people is like, they don't know, they have never saw the elephant. So what happened? One guy touched to the trunk, they will say, oh, elephant is like a snake. Who touched the stomach will say, oh, elephant is like a wall. You don't want that situation to your users. Okay, you want your users are not blind. Okay, so please don't take an extra effort so that user will understand what your intentions. So that is at least, I think, a reason for that you do this usability analysis frequently with your product. Okay, so though through the usability metrics testing, these personas in mind which are coming through your user research methodologies, you do design thinking or UCD, whichever method you are do, you know what is your user, right? And then what you do, so they can also track usability improvements. That is one reason. Improve communication between the focus group and design team, better understanding the product and position, and make effective decisions. So these are some, maybe again, some possible reasons why you need usability metrics at every stage of your product development. You can do this at prototyping level, you can do this at a beta launch, you can do after launch, whatever. The every stage you have to do this analysis. Okay. Now let's come to actual metrics. Okay, so Nelson and Izon suggested 5 usability metrics you have to test basically. Okay, so setting up usability metrics for your product to serve any given task is it but selecting the right metrics for the proper result is more challenging. So here are 5 metrics that you can test it with your any product. Okay, and you can test. Now how to do this? So you create a focus group, maybe your internal team, external team, customer, whatever. You should test, you should have every UX practitioner some focus group, do with real users, take a participation, to create some, these sessions, kind of a workshop with client side or on site or with your premise. Now during COVID, I can understand you cannot go to the on site, but you can do virtually. Okay, so protocols you can define, you create a proper NDAs, and you do a lot of your internal protocols. Maybe every company follows the thing, so that you can manage. And basically, what 5 things you have to look? First, task time, errors, completion of it, rate, usability problem, and task satisfaction. So if you judge your product on these 5 parameters, then I think you will in better position to understand what are the issues with your product. Okay, so let's say check one by one. Task time. Okay, now what is this? It is like, any task. Say for example, let's say registration or anything. Okay, I want to see how onboarding will happen, or how they will book a show, or how they will use the payment gateway, whatever. So create a focus group, explain them what is the task they have to show them. If you are in a prototyping stage, show them prototype. If it is an actual product, give them access to the product and give a time test there. Okay, how much time they are taking to complete that task. Okay, so average time on the task, mean time, if they are failure, how they require no repetition actions are there, and what is the average time to complete those tasks. Now what you learn from this, right? Okay, see, for example, let's see there is one form, and to complete that form your user took somewhere around 5 minutes. Okay, on average I am saying. Some maybe take 7 minutes, some may take 5 minutes, some may take 2 minutes, but average it comes around 4.5 or 5. Then your goal is to how you reduce this time. So you have to think now, should I use some automation? Okay, Array, I saw there are some manual entries. Why there is a manual entries? Okay, why not I auto-populate few things? For example, pin code. Why I'm asking pin code? There is a mobile app. There is a GPS coordinate, right? I can easily populate pin code. Address. There are a lot of fields you can do automation. You can take a help of your latest AI technologies, machine learning. And if you imagine, if you reduce that time from 5 minutes to 2 minutes, what is the result? Suppose that task user has to do 100 times in a day. That means 500 minutes is user is spending on that task. Now you reduce from 500 to 200. Then automatically you say that yes, my product is more efficient. Okay, so this is very important to understand, and you can do this by one task by task. Okay, there is no need to every application, but many key applications, key screens, you can do a time testing. Okay, okay, so that was the task time metrics. Next, error. While doing this focus group activities, you have to have observations. Okay. Uh, while your focus group is doing this task, everything, please watch, keep eye on those users. Okay. What mistakes they are doing. Okay. Where they are doing some errors. Because as a designer, as a product owner, stakeholder, you have to check these errors. Okay, why they are doing? Is there any particular reason? Because of your design element, or because of position of element, or in short, your user may have some cognitive load. That's why they are doing these mistakes. So measure it, record it, make a note, and you can give this feedback to the your stakeholders or your technical team, so that they will take care about this. So in next version, you can take care about these errors. So watch for errors is very important for for user, because if you check those error, user will say, okay, when they come visit next time, they will get that experience. Oh, quickly they come, they solve their problem, they complete their task. There is no error, because once the error comes, it is emotional also, because sometimes error, it is not just technical error. Whenever there is an error, there is something happen in our brain. There is some emotional things happen. Okay. Oh, I thought, oh, it is like I have done mistake, so I am a guilt. Okay. Oh, I cannot do this. It's not cup of my tea. Okay, sometimes these things happen there. So error is just not a technical error. Sometimes that, no, in psychology, user psychology, we particularly study one concept we call as a non-helplessness. Okay, so because of repetitive errors happen there, our users start thinking that, oh, this is too much complex, I cannot use this software is not for me, it's too much complex thing. And that again impact on your revenue generation. Okay, so keep on observe these errors, so that you can take care about this thing. Then again, completion rate. Now what is this completion rate? Sometimes, uh, the completion rate is a critical, straightforward usability metrics that help to improve the usability of your product or service. The data collect is easy to understand because it is a pass and fail. Either user complete the task or they don't. Okay. Suppose they initiate one activity, whether they complete or not, whether they stuck in some loop, whether they enter in your system, but they don't know how to come out from that system. Okay, so observe this thing. Maybe sometimes we create some workflows, your interact information architecture is not good, then you face such problems. Okay, so when you observe the completion rate, whether in particular time they complete their success, they achieve complete their goal, then it is a good thing. Otherwise, user expectations, they get a feel that, oh, they cannot use this product. Okay, so try to check that, how they can complete this task. Then fourth is very important. It is a usability problem you have to check. Now for this, now what you can do, obviously you have to deal with, you have to test your product to usability, your focus group, observe what they are doing errors, what how the completion rate is there, what are the time they have taken. But doing this thing, also observe for more things like how they start their wrong activities, how they misinterpret the content, how they express their frustration, okay, how they they whatever your intention is there, how they use their interface non-intended way. Okay, does they accomplish the task? How the inaccurate sense of task of completion? So basically, these are human behaviorals. User reactions are there. So because of this, user get frustrated, user get annoyed, user get happy also. They see, wow, what is a good service or what is a good product, what is a good interface you are given. So keep eye on these human expressions. Okay, so this will give you more confident. Oh, no, lot of scenarios you can test in this no usability problem. Sometimes your focus group, when now the practice is like that, once you do this, you have to take a debrief interviews. Okay, once they complete the activity, again start interviews, ask them some questions, how you feel, what are your frustrations, what is your expectations, and your focus group will start giving you answers. Note down those. Okay, you observe their feedbacks, and these feedbacks very valuable for your technical team, your designers, your UI team, because they are frustrated because of some small button, they are frustrated because of some human ability, because that user is color blind, and unfortunately your graphic designer use such a color so that because of his color blind he cannot observe some color, and because of that he miss out some functionality. Sometimes there is a disabled user is there. So a lot of things you have to see regards to human body, human behavioral. So you have to talk with them. That is the how to measure it. You have to talk with them, ask some questions. After they use, you sit with them, take the interviews again. Try to uh, take out lot of information out of regards how they feel about this experience. Then last is the task satisfaction. Okay, so basically here again this is a again interview kind of activity you do. So once you complete the task and everything, you done the with time testing, you done with the completion rate, you observe the error, you observe the usability problems, then simply use a in user research we use one method. With that we method we call as a think aloud method. Okay, so simply ask your participants how you feel. Okay, simple, because sometimes they are very satisfied, they are not satisfied. So you can with this you get some behaviorals like they are very dissatisfied or dissatisfied, or sometimes they are neutral, they will not give any reaction. Sometimes they are over satisfied. Fine, it is good. Okay, but you have to note those things, right? Okay, so that will give more confidence for phase 2, phase 3. You can plan out few things, or you observe that some feature or user are so dissatisfied, then again you can go to the drawing board. You can start with again fresh, start with again new sketch. Maybe you can again start some user research method. Try to get more the problem solving suggestions, and bring back that same feature with a new capabilities, so that again in usability testing you can test this and you can convert your dissatisfied user into satisfied. Okay, so that was 5 things you can do in a usability matrix. It is very simple, it is not a rocket science, but unfortunately many people I have observed they don't do. And reason I get for this, it is simple. Oh, it is time consuming. Okay, it is not a time consuming thing. It has to be in your protocol, in your project management process. You have to give some time for this thing, because it is, I don't think what is the logic here. Okay, you create something, you put something in a market, then you get a bad experience, then your product gets suffer, you get losses, and then you come back and you start spend more 3 4 months to correct those things. Instead of this, just spend 1 or 2 days to do this activity, correct those things, use alpha test beta phases for this, observe these usability issues, and then go into market. So it is up to you. Spend 3 months in a rework, 4 months to do solving the silly mistakes, or spend 1 or 2 days. Again, it depends on your project size and everything, but I don't think it takes more time. Okay, the focus group is with you, your in-house team, your external team, customer, stakeholder, you have user in front of you. How much time you require, right? There is a one screen, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. How much time you require? So please try to incorporate usability metrics study in your project management process, whether you do agile, waterfall, whatever. Okay, and believe me, this will give you better results uh, in your product. No, and again, this will give you more revenue for your product. So it is very simple. It is a defining the goals, identify the roles, KPIs, what want you to target, define the targets. Now, suppose today I'm testing, say, registration. Today I'm testing profile page. Today I have to test payment gateways. Okay. Do these 5 metrics with this task, measure it, test it, and then what are the observation you start doing optimizing. Sit with your technical team, sit with your UI team, tell them what user is saying. Okay, many times if you want, no, because they will not say accept, okay, why you are telling me this, but when you show them, okay, I'm not telling this, our user is saying this, so then definitely your stakeholder will start giving some seriousness about this. Okay, so last, I will come to this story. Okay, our users are not blind. Okay, help them. Okay, help them to understand what is correct elephant is there. Okay, I am 100% sure your elephant is not like this. Okay, your product is not like this. Your product is very something, it is very genuinely, you have put effort, time, money, everything in your product, and you are building one product, and your users are in blindfold. They will think that your product is not good. Okay, so why not you put some extra effort, okay, and apply this metrics, time test, completion rate, error, usability issues, and last is a satisfaction. Okay, again I'm repeating, it will not take much time. Whether you, anyways, you are doing agile, so you have your sprint wise you are doing activities, right? So once you, before launch, take one day, take few hours, sit with your team and do these simple 5 metrics, and you will observe that your product from this level to this level. Okay, because our users are very, no, their expectations are very clear. There is a particular task and they want to complete this task. Don't put into confusion state. Okay, because imagine this is a paid product, they are paying for these services, they are paying for this product. How you feel, you know, you go, you buy one microwave, okay, and you don't understand what is the panel interactions are there. Okay, when you see that universal remote 10 30 buttons, you will say, what is this, I don't know. Then again you have to go to the YouTube, you saw videos how to it works, maybe you have to ask with your friends, and then you learn things. Why you add learnability, learning curve, why you are adding simple things like add tooltip, give correct messages, give some instructions, add how it works, simply use multimedia, no, interactions, video, audio, use AI, use machine learning, use intelligent software, so that your users will feel that they are not blind in their, no, while using your software. Okay, I hope I'm not taken much time, and I try to, today's agenda is at least when we discuss this topic, at least you will understand what is importance of usability and how to measure it. Okay, I know I have not much spent time on what is usability because our today's topic was how to measure it. So 5 metrics you have to follow. Maybe you can come up with your own some metrics. It is your project. It is, you can, and follow your own metrics. That is also welcome because you know your project better. You know your user better. You know your area of working better. Okay. So it is not a golden rules. It is not a only the method. You can come up with your own metrics and you can, but my simple request is that do this. Okay. Don't skip this. Otherwise, it is not a logical to spend 4 months, 6 months to just solve user bugs or feedback. So just give your product 1 or 2 days. Some give your time to your user so that you can get more benefit from your product. Okay, and let's stop today. So if you have any questions, please let me know so we can discuss. So if you can use Zoom chat, you can put, if you have any questions, please put there. Our next UX chat, UX talk is by Mary. She is from Switzerland and she is going to talk about during this UX, when you practice UX as a professional, how you become a UX, a unique professional. Okay, so she's a professor in ergonomics. She has a lot of huge experience in UX practicing, specific ergonomics and everything. So she has very strong background in a UX practice thing. She's a good mentor. She associated with one of a college in Switzerland. So I hope she will also bring a good knowledge for you so that you can take takeaways from lot of takeaways from that. Okay. So anyways, that is about next UX talk. It is on 12th I think February. It is on 12th Feb. Just take UX talk website and maybe I'm just date mistake. Okay. Anyways, so if any question, just please we can discuss few minutes on that. And thanks for joining today. Okay. Okay. So any idea on the average percentage of time that needs to be set aside for usability? See, it entirely depend on product to product. See, when I say usability, again, I'm considering it is not only web and mobile, any product. Okay, maybe it is a automobile engineering or device, anything. But anyways, see, suppose on an average, I am considering one product which has say 10 screens. Okay, as we are in representing IT sector, so I'm taking software example. So if it's 10 screens, okay, uh, how much thing, how much time to navigate that software about 10 screen? I don't think it will take more than an hour, right? So it entirely depends. Again, if it is a complex, there are a lot of scenarios, lot of workflows are there. So maybe that time grows more. Right? Okay, you need more time for analysis. Okay, with your team. For your participant focus group, I don't think you must require a time. Okay, give them demo on site or bring them on table. Give them your access to your system and they will use it. And after that, maybe you require time for debrief interviews. Okay, maybe so on an average, I think in one day you can finish your 10-15 screen application. Then analysis, create a report. Report creation is very important. You create a report. Maybe you can do a video recording or screen grabbers, what are the technology you want to use, and present this. Again, the format is up to you. You can do a PPT or just verbal, anyways. So you can transfer this knowledge to your technical team. So I don't think time is an issue, but it depends on project to project. Okay, Nikhil, I hope I answered. this. Okay, anyone else? Yeah, if you wanted to ask directly question, please ask. Just you have to turn, unmute the mic and you can ask.
I just wanted to clarify my question. I like what you answered is okay. You can hear me, right?
Yes, yes, Nikhil. Yeah.
The problem is, like this when this time allocation has to happen, during the activity of say pre-design, like when the proposal goes to the client.
Yes.
So this usability testing takes quite a big chunk of the project time. So usually you have experienced probably also that like it gets thrown out, most often.
Yeah.
Because the client, it's like more like satisfying the client rather than the user, to
Right. Okay.
agree for a usability testing, isn't it? So uh, just for the help of the project managers, that's why I asked, is there a way to set aside, like say, if it is 100 hours project, say 5% would be say usability testing, or like, because the client also needs to know that, okay, say out of say $100,000, 5,000 will go towards just testing the product, or just usability testing, not even the unit testing. It's like a different. So that's why I thought, if there is any way to
See, I can
just
answer.
estimate.
Yeah, I can tell you on this particular time. Now, see, obviously this is not your first project, right? Your team is already done earlier projects. So you have that experience with you. Okay. So maybe some in first project, or maybe that not accurate time you can come up. But eventually, I believe if you work on 10, 15 projects or more than that, you can take this, you have to judge. Because see, even if, see, I know we follow agile and everything, but you can tell me now how many times you complete your project on exact that day.
Correct. I was just going to come to agile, because agile doesn't give time to take the feedback, back to the earlier sort of cycle, isn't it? So that's always a challenge to fix this, and because this has to be given time in the next agile cycle, to fix.
Right. Yeah,
So
see, I can say in first one or two projects, you may get experience that you are giving miscalculating something, but eventually, you know your team, right? How they are capable, how your design team works, how
true.
your user research has done. Okay, and then I think you are confident that okay, whatever I design, it is already take care of a lot of things. So that's why, see, it is, I will, don't keep all usability testing at the last. Okay,
Okay.
what I follow basically, see, you do a prototype, right? In UX process, there is a prototyping phase, right?
Yeah.
Either nowadays we use Figma, XD, Framer. These are very high-end collaborative tools. Then what I will suggest, instead of keeping everything last, whenever you do small sprint of wireframe, why not you introduce, say, I just today, for example, I created one dashboard for say sales manager. Okay, so there I created some interface which is some, maybe I have some statistics, some graphs, some data table, some call of actions are there, and I created this prototype. So before you send to customer, why not just give a 5 minutes for internal usability round? Okay, maybe you have a focus group, maybe you have a stakeholder. See, when you observe your feedbacks later on, you will see that out of 100, I think 60% feedbacks are, I believe that you will, after when you see those feedback, you 100% think that, I can do this. If I know this thing earlier, I can those fix very early stage.
True.
Right. So divide your this usability sessions, or time wise, because it's a journey, right? Project
Yeah.
execution is a journey, it is a life cycle. So bring this usability analysis in your project life cycles. There are some life cycle stages where you come up with some, sometimes high fidelity prototypes. They are actually replica of your final product, right?
Yeah.
Though it is not a dynamic product, but it is a replica. I will say it is 80% close to your real product. Now, in this stage, if you introduce this usability methods or analysis, I think you 80% your screen, the simple silly mistakes, or sometimes because of color combinations, because of placement, at least those mistakes you can rectify. You can those mistakes can become on surface.
Yeah, yeah,
And
correct. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
and
yeah.
eventually after prototype, you have another phase like HTML phase, UI phase, because development will start later on, right? So again, you have a time with you to rectify those things.
Yeah.
So
What I
instead of-
gather.
right.
Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, Tushar.
Instead of keeping everything at a last,
Yeah.
so better than it is very simple, right? Divide and conquer. So
Oh, yeah, got it. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, what I understand is, even if we don't give that full amount of time for the usability testing, even if you give whatever is possible, it will
Yes,
still iron out some issues, isn't it? So
right,
which will save you time in the end. Yeah.
right. And we say no, something is better than two things.
True. Yeah.
Okay. Good to
Thank you.
talk with Nikhil. I just tell everyone Nikhil is we work with Nikhil. And I just when you come, just my Rediff days, we call Rediff days, endless smoking hours. Okay. And I see Nikhil is my guru in very, I think I
Come on,
saw
man.
JavaScript, how you write. So it is very interesting. Okay.
Thank you.
Great to, I think we spoke after very long time, right?
Yeah. Almost after
Great.
in your earlier talk, I was, before the pandemic, I think.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Anyone, I have questions.
Yeah.
I hope I address a lot of some points here. Yeah. Okay. See, I think I don't want to keep wait for everyone. So please do connect with me. So you can ask me questions if you have. I understand. Suddenly some questions pop up on it is very difficult. So do connect with me. Shoot out your questions anytime. Okay. So these are so you can just LinkedIn profile, and even if you Tushar Deshmukh, it's I think people know you can I think UX Tushar Deshmukh ek hi hoga. So let's connect with me and keep watch on other topics which are coming. There are very interesting speaker are lined up, and we are talking now. I'm bringing some very different speakers. Idea is behind of UX talk is at least we should understand UX or usability or user psychology. These are not only IT related things. Okay, please. There is everywhere opportunity is there. User human centric design. You have to apply everywhere. So let's bring out some more topic and anyone if you have any topic in your mind, please let me know so that I can bring those topic in next future UX talks. And even if you know some or you want to participate, as you know, so I'm just calling for speakers. So you want to contribute something in so please let me know. So UX Talk is a platform which I started as a pandemic activity, but why not use this? You build this one community where all designers will help each other, and and once you share your knowledge, okay, we can improve ourselves, right? So let's, if you have any topic in mind, please let me know. Even if you know someone who can is good in some particular topic, please let me know so that we can bring him or her to on our platform so that we can take that topic and we can discuss on this. Okay. Once again, thanks everybody for taking time for Sunday evening. Okay. Again, this COVID is third wave. I don't know what is happening. So please do take care. Take all COVID precautions. Avoid public gathering. Stay safe. Okay. Thanks once again. Okay. Let's meet on next UX talk. Gopal, he was also there. Just I saw. Okay. Thanks for joining. Yeah.